In the heart of the Indian subcontinent, whispers of a river long vanished stir the imagination of historians and explorers alike. The Saraswati, immortalized in the Rig Veda, is said to have flowed with grandeur, a lifeline of ancient India, nurturing one of the earliest urban civilizations known to humankind. Yet today, its waters have disappeared into the sands, leaving behind only the echoes of a mighty past. For centuries, scholars debated whether the Saraswati was mere mythology, a poetic river of legend, or a real channel that once carved valleys and nourished cities. But recent discoveries tell a different story. Hidden beneath deserts and plains, paleo channels hint at a river that rivaled even the Indus in size and influence. Excavations in Rajasthan's Deeg district have uncovered a 23-meter-deep ancient riverbed, suggesting the Saraswati's existence was far more than myth. This river was more than water. It was civilization's spine. Its course dictated where people lived, farmed, and traded. It witnessed the rise of cities, the hum of commerce, and the dawn of cultural and spiritual life. The story of the Saraswati is the story of human ingenuity, resilience, and mystery. What secrets does this lost river still conceal beneath the sands of time? The Saraswati River, described in ancient Vedic hymns, is said to have originated in the snow-fed mountains of the Himalayas, cascading down to the plains before eventually joining the Arabian Sea. The river's path, however, was far from simple. Modern geological surveys and satellite imagery have revealed a network of paleo channels in the Ghaggar-Hakra basin, stretching across Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. These buried riverbeds indicate that the Saraswati was once a mighty force of nature, shaping the landscapes and settlements of ancient India. Climate played a pivotal role in the river's history. During the Holocene epoch, monsoon patterns were more stable, feeding rivers like the Saraswati with consistent flows. Fertile plains emerged along its banks, inviting early farmers to settle and cultivate wheat, barley, and cotton. But the river's might was also fragile. Tectonic shifts, changing rainfall, and sediment deposits gradually altered its course, creating seasonal floods that could either nourish or devastate the surrounding lands. The river's geography dictated settlement patterns. Cities sprouted along its banks, aligned with its seasonal rhythms. The Ghaggar-Hakra basin, in particular, reveals a dense cluster of urban centers, each strategically located to access water, fertile soil, and trade routes. Archaeologists have identified hundreds of sites along these ancient channels, ranging from small villages to sprawling urban centers like Dholavira. This suggests that the Saraswati was more than a river. It was the artery of an entire civilization, connecting communities through water, trade, and culture. Satellite imagery has also unveiled clues about tributaries that once fed the Saraswati, such as the Sutlej and Yamuna rivers. These tributaries, combined with the river's main channel, created a complex hydrological network that sustained agriculture and urban life. The river's drying, therefore, was not a single catastrophic event, but a gradual process. A slow retreat of life-giving waters that forced communities to adapt or perish. Despite these geological realities, ancient texts elevate the Saraswati beyond mere geography. Vedic hymns celebrate it as a goddess, a sacred entity whose waters symbolized purity, knowledge, and prosperity. The blend of spiritual reverence and practical reliance paints a vivid picture. The Saraswati was at once a life-giving river and a cultural icon, central to identity, memory, and civilization. Yet questions remain. How precisely did this river shape human history? Why did it vanish? And how did the people who depended on it adapt to its disappearance? As we trace the Saraswati's geography, we begin to understand not only its physical presence, but its profound influence on the birth of urban society in ancient India. Around 4,500 years ago, the plains nourished by the Saraswati witnessed the emergence of an extraordinary civilization. Often intertwined with the Indus Valley civilization, the Indus-Saraswati civilization extended across what is now northwestern India and eastern Pakistan. It was a civilization of order, precision, and sophistication, a testament to humanity's ability to shape its environment and culture. Settlements were carefully planned, demonstrating a remarkable understanding of urban engineering. Streets were laid out in grid patterns, with homes constructed from standardized baked bricks. Drainage systems were sophisticated, channeling water efficiently from residences to larger public works. Wells and reservoirs ensured a steady supply of water, even in arid conditions. Evidence from Dolavira shows large water reservoirs and stepwells designed to collect and store rainwater. Ingenious adaptations to the semi-arid climate that speak to the civilization's technological prowess. Trade formed the backbone of the economy. Artifacts discovered along the Saraswati's banks suggest exchanges not only within the region, but with distant lands. Beads, semi-precious stones, and pottery point to a flourishing network extending to Mesopotamia and the Persian Gulf. Seals with intricate carvings, often depicting animals or enigmatic script, indicate commercial transactions and possibly administrative control, a sophisticated society deeply connected by commerce, law, and ritual. Cultural achievements were equally remarkable. The Saraswati civilization left behind terracotta figurines, intricately designed pottery, and art reflecting a rich spiritual life. Religious practices included ritual baths, altars, and symbolic offerings, suggesting a society that blended everyday survival with profound spiritual expression. The river itself was deified, celebrated in hymns as a goddess whose waters sustained cities, nourished fields, and inspired devotion. Agriculture was intensive and highly organized. The fertile floodplains supported wheat, barley, and cotton, while irrigation systems allowed the extension of arable land into semi-arid regions. The use of plows, irrigation channels, and granaries points to meticulous planning, a civilization that thrived on both ingenuity and adaptation. The social structure of this civilization, though not fully understood, was likely complex. Housing sizes and layouts suggest stratification. Larger, centrally located homes may have belonged to elites or administrators, while smaller dwellings housed artisans, laborers, and farmers. Specialized craft areas indicate division of labor, with communities skilled in metallurgy, bead-making, pottery, and textile production. But perhaps the most enduring mystery lies in their writing. The Indus script, found on seals and pottery, remains undeciphered. It hints at a sophisticated means of communication, capable of recording trade, administration, and possibly literature or religious texts. Each inscription is a puzzle, a fragment of thought frozen in time, waiting for understanding. The Saraswati River was the lifeblood of this civilization. It provided water, trade routes, fertile soil, and spiritual inspiration. The river's ebb and flow dictated the rhythm of life, influencing when and where people settled, farmed, and conducted commerce. Its seasonal changes shaped urban planning, agricultural cycles, and even the spiritual calendar, intertwining natural and human history in ways that resonate through time. Yet this flourishing civilization was not immune to change. Over centuries, shifts in climate, river courses, and external pressures began to challenge its stability. How did these forces shape the rise of cities, the prosperity of trade, and the sophistication of daily life along the Saraswati? What would ultimately bring an end to this remarkable human endeavor? The answers lie in the sands, beneath layers of history, waiting for discovery. The story of the Saraswati civilization is etched into the very soil of the subcontinent, revealed in the ruins of cities that once thrived along its banks. Among these, Mohenjo-Daro stands as a beacon of human ingenuity. Nestled in present-day Sindh, Pakistan, Mohenjo-Daro's streets were laid in precise grids, intersecting at right angles, lined with homes built from standardized baked bricks. The city boasted complex drainage systems, public baths, and granaries, testaments to advanced urban planning and a society deeply attuned to hygiene, administration, and civic life. Walking its remnants, one can almost hear the echoes of merchants calling out, children playing in the courtyards, and priests performing rituals by sacred fires. Harappa, another cornerstone of this civilization, was a hub of trade and craftsmanship. Situated in Punjab, it thrived as an economic powerhouse, exporting beads, pottery, and metals to distant lands. Archaeologists have uncovered seals engraved with mysterious scripts, symbols that hint at a society capable of organization, record-keeping, and governance. Harappa's artifacts, delicate pottery, copper tools, and jewelry, suggest a culture that valued artistry as much as survival. Further west, Dolavira rises like a sentinel in the arid expanses of Gujarat. Here, water management was paramount. Ingenious reservoirs, stepwells, and channels reveal a society that not only survived harsh conditions but flourished. Large public buildings, sophisticated fortifications, and residential compounds indicate a civilization that mastered both architecture and urban planning. Dholavira's layout, with its citadel, middle town, and lower town, mirrors the hierarchical organization of its society, reflecting planning that balances security, resource management, and social life. Beyond these famous sites lie countless smaller settlements, quietly whispering stories of human resilience. Villages along the Ghaggar-Hakra basin, such as Bahaj in Rajasthan, have revealed paleo channels believed to be remnants of the Saraswati River. Excavations unearthed furnaces, pottery fragments, and residential remains, suggesting a vibrant network of communities once connected by the river. These smaller settlements were essential to trade, agriculture, and cultural cohesion, forming the connective tissue of the larger civilization. Artifacts unearthed across these sites highlight not only technological proficiency, but also the spiritual and cultural dimensions of daily life. Seals depict animals, possibly totems or markers of identity, while terracotta figurines suggest rituals or worship practices. The consistent design of bricks, uniformity of weights and measures, and systematic urban layouts all point to shared standards, communication, and cultural values that stretched across vast distances. Yet despite the clarity of the ruins, mysteries remain. Why did some cities thrive longer than others? Were there undiscovered urban centers hidden beneath shifting sands? And how exactly did life along the Saraswati evolve over centuries of growth and change? Each excavation raises new questions, inviting us to imagine the rhythm of life in a world long vanished but still alive in memory and myth. The Saraswati River, silent today, once connected these cities like veins carrying lifeblood. It nourished agriculture, enabled trade, and inspired culture. As we trace its path through ruins, we glimpse the scale of human ambition and the fragility of civilization when the river's waters eventually receded. What stories remain buried, waiting to be uncovered beneath layers of sand and time? Life along the Saraswati was defined by innovation, skill, and adaptability. The Indus-Saraswati civilization achieved technological and cultural feats that rivaled other early civilizations, yet its stories are rarely told in full. Writing and communication were central to organization. The Indus script, etched onto seals and pottery, remains undeciphered but demonstrates a society capable of record-keeping, administration, and possibly even literature. Its presence across multiple sites suggests standardized communication, linking trade centers, administrative hubs, and cultural communities. Agriculture sustained the civilization. Fertile floodplains yielded wheat, barley, and cotton, while intricate irrigation channels extended cultivation into semi-arid areas. Plowing techniques, granaries, and crop rotation strategies point to an understanding of soil fertility and seasonal cycles, enabling communities to thrive even under challenging conditions. Metallurgy and craftsmanship reveal ingenuity in daily life. Copper, bronze, and iron tools facilitated farming, construction, and trade. Artisans crafted beads, pottery, jewelry, and figurines, each piece a reflection of both function and aesthetic sensibility. Furnaces, smelting sites, and workshops discovered in towns like Dholavira and Harappa illustrate the scale and sophistication of production. Religion and spiritual life permeated the fabric of society. Ritual altars, terracotta figurines, and ceremonial artifacts suggest a spiritual culture deeply connected to the river and nature. The Saraswati herself was deified, a living symbol of life and prosperity. Festivals, sacrificial rites, and veneration of natural elements illustrate a worldview that blended practicality with reverence. Social organization is evident in city layouts and dwelling sizes. Larger homes may have belonged to administrators or elites, while smaller homes housed artisans and laborers. Specialized craft zones, marketplaces, and communal spaces indicate a society with division of labor, collaboration, and shared cultural norms. Education, as implied by literacy and craft specialization, may have played a role in preparing citizens for both trade and administration. Even mundane aspects of life were marked by precision. Standardized brick sizes, uniform weights and measures, and systematic urban planning reveal attention to detail and societal cohesion. The civilization's ability to harmonize architecture, agriculture, trade, and ritual life reflects an extraordinary understanding of human and environmental systems. Yet, amid this brilliance, shadows linger. What secrets were held within the undeciphered script? How did the river's seasonal rhythms shape daily routines and festivals? And how did communities respond to changes in water availability, climate, or external threats? These unanswered questions tantalize historians, offering glimpses of a world both familiar and alien, alive with ingenuity yet ultimately fragile. The innovations of the Saraswati civilization were not merely technical. They were a testament to human resilience, creativity, and the intricate balance between nature and society. But even the brightest achievements can fade. What forces would eventually unravel this thriving civilization, leaving behind only ruins and legends? The decline of the Saraswati civilization remains one of ancient history's most compelling enigmas. For centuries, scholars have sought to unravel why a society so advanced in urban planning, agriculture, trade, and culture ultimately waned. Multiple factors, often intertwined, may have contributed to this transformation. Climate change stands at the forefront of scholarly debate. Evidence from paleoclimatology suggests that monsoon patterns shifted dramatically around 1900 BCE. Reduced rainfall would have led to decreased river flow, threatening agriculture and water supply. Fertile plains turned to dust, and settlements that once thrived became increasingly vulnerable. This slow environmental stress may have initiated migration, resource conflicts, and societal restructuring. River drying played a critical role. Geological studies and satellite imagery show that tributaries feeding the Saraswati, including the Sutlej and Yamuna, altered their courses, gradually starving the river. As channels silted up and seasonal flows diminished, urban centers dependent on the river faced critical water shortages. The drying of the river disrupted agriculture, trade, and daily life, forcing communities to abandon even the most sophisticated cities. Invasions and socio-political pressures have also been proposed as factors. The movement of Indo-Aryan groups and other external forces may have exerted pressure on local populations. While evidence of widespread violent conflict is limited, these migrations could have introduced cultural shifts, administrative changes, and economic disruptions that weakened established systems. Economic collapse is another plausible explanation. As river routes dried and trade networks fragmented, cities that had once been economic hubs lost their vitality. The decline in long-distance trade, resource depletion, and internal social tensions may have compounded environmental stress, accelerating the civilization's downfall. Yet, unknown or unexplained factors also linger in the shadows of history. Disease, localized conflicts, or other environmental catastrophes may have further destabilized communities. The interplay between these elements highlights the fragility of civilizations, even those with advanced technology and planning. The fall of the Saraswati civilization was likely not sudden, but a gradual unraveling, a cascade of environmental, social, and economic pressures that reshaped the human landscape. Cities once vibrant with life were abandoned, rivers dried, and traditions faded, leaving behind only ruins and fragmented memories. The mystery persists. How could a society so adept in engineering, trade, and adaptation succumb to forces both natural and human? And what lessons does its decline offer about resilience, adaptation, and the enduring relationship between humans and their environment? The sands of the Ghaggar-Hakra basin still whisper these questions, waiting for curious minds to listen. The story of the Saraswati civilization is pieced together from fragments unearthed beneath layers of time, dust, and sand. Archaeology has provided the most tangible evidence, bridging myth and history in ways that compel the imagination. Across northern India and Pakistan, sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, Dholavira, and Bahaj have yielded artifacts that reveal the sophistication of a civilization once thriving along the mighty Saraswati. At Bahaj in Rajasthan, recent excavations uncovered a 23-meter-deep paleo channel believed to be part of the ancient Saraswati system. Within this riverbed, archaeologists found remnants of residential structures, kilns, and pottery dating back to the Harappan post-period. These discoveries suggest that human habitation persisted along the river even as it began to recede, reflecting resilience in the face of environmental change. timesofindia.indiatimes.com. Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa remain iconic sites for understanding urban life. Their streets, granaries, and baths reveal meticulous city planning, while hundreds of seals and inscriptions suggest administration, commerce, and possibly spiritual or ritual communication. The consistency in brick sizes, weights, and measures points to standardized practices across regions, hinting at a unifying culture that spanned hundreds of kilometers. Ancient texts complement these archaeological findings. The Rig Veda and other Vedic hymns praise the Saraswati as a mighty river flowing from the mountains to the sea, bestowing prosperity, wisdom, and fertility. Lines describing its golden waters and abundant banks resonate with the archaeological evidence of fertile plains and thriving settlements. Puranic texts further immortalize the river as a divine entity, blending mythology with the memory of a lost lifeline. Paleo channels identified via satellite imagery and ground surveys corroborate these ancient accounts. Researchers have traced ancient riverbeds from the Himalayas through Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat, aligning remarkably with textual descriptions. These channels reveal a network of tributaries and distributaries that once sustained extensive urban and rural settlements. Sediment analysis shows periods of flooding and retreat, offering a timeline for human habitation, migration, and eventual decline. Artifacts provide glimpses into daily life, spiritual practices, and technology. Terracotta figurines depict ritual dances, animals, and domestic scenes, while tools and ornaments highlight advanced metallurgy and craft specialization. The Indus script, still undeciphered, remains a tantalizing enigma, a coded message from a civilization whose voice has largely faded, yet whose imprint endures in stone, clay, and soil. Collectively, archaeology and texts weave a compelling narrative. The Saraswati civilization was no myth. It was a dynamic society, sustained by a river whose waters shaped not only landscapes, but culture, commerce, and spirituality. Yet as the river dried and climates shifted, this civilization gradually receded into history, leaving behind only whispers, ruins, and the enduring question: how much of its story remains hidden, waiting to be unearthed? Though the Saraswati River may have vanished, the civilization it nurtured left an indelible mark on Indian history and culture. Its influence is evident not only in the urban planning, metallurgy, and trade systems adopted by later societies, but also in spiritual and cultural memory. Religious traditions retained the river's sanctity. The Saraswati was deified as a goddess of wisdom, learning, and art, her name still invoked in rituals, prayers, and festivals. Ancient texts describing the river's grandeur influenced Vedic thought, shaping philosophies, ceremonies, and cultural identity across centuries. Even today, educational institutions across India bear her name, a testament to the enduring symbolic legacy of the river. Urban planning and civic engineering principles pioneered along the Saraswati, standardized bricks, drainage systems, water reservoirs, echoed in subsequent settlements. Later Indian civilizations drew upon these models, demonstrating the continuity of technological knowledge across time. Agriculture, trade, and craft techniques developed along the river formed the bedrock for future economic and social systems, bridging the ancient and the modern. Cultural memory preserved the civilization in song, story, and myth. Legends of the river, its cities, and their prosperity have inspired generations of poets, historians, and explorers. Place names along the ancient river course retain echoes of Saraswati's past, anchoring the civilization in both geography and imagination. Even in global scholarship, the Saraswati civilization challenges perceptions of ancient India. It demonstrates that advanced urban societies were not confined to the Indus Valley alone, but stretched across broader landscapes, thriving in diverse environmental conditions. Its legacy is a testament to human ingenuity, adaptation, and the profound relationship between people and water, a lesson that resonates even in today's world. Yet the Saraswati story is more than technical or historical. It is a narrative of human resilience, creativity, and the interplay of nature and culture. Its influence persists subtly yet powerfully in the foundations of Indian civilization, reminding us that rivers, though they may vanish, shape human destiny for millennia. Despite extensive research, the Saraswati civilization continues to hold secrets that defy easy explanation. Some scholars question whether the river was ever as mighty as the texts describe, suggesting that references in the Rigveda may be symbolic rather than literal. Was the Saraswati a mythical construct, an idealized waterway, or a real river whose memory was amplified in song and story? Others speculate about hidden cities, yet to be discovered. The recent findings at Bahaj, Rajasthan, hint that hundreds of settlements may still lie beneath sands and sediment, awaiting excavation. Each new site carries the potential to rewrite history, revealing unknown aspects of trade, urban planning, and cultural life. The undeciphered Indus script remains one of archaeology's most tantalizing mysteries. These symbols, found on seals and pottery, suggest complex communication, yet their meaning remains elusive. Were they administrative records, religious texts, or markers of identity? Unlocking their code could illuminate countless unknowns about governance, culture, and social life. Natural forces also leave unanswered questions. What precise combination of climate change, tectonic shifts, or river drying led to the civilization's decline? Could sudden environmental catastrophes, disease, or localized conflicts have accelerated the process? Each hypothesis offers possibilities but few certainties. The Saraswati civilization, therefore, inhabits a liminal space between myth and history, between discovery and speculation. Its ruins, texts, and paleo-channels hint at grandeur, innovation, and human resilience, yet its story remains incomplete. As technology advances, new surveys, excavations, and analyses may reveal what has long been hidden. But some mysteries may remain forever buried beneath the sands. The allure of the Saraswati lies not only in what is known, but in the questions it provokes. What secrets does this lost civilization hold about the rise of urban life, human adaptation, and the interplay between nature and culture? And perhaps, more hauntingly, what lessons does it leave for civilizations today when rivers run dry and landscapes shift beneath our feet? The Saraswati civilization stands as a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and the intricate bond between nature and society. Along the banks of a river now lost to the sands, people built cities of remarkable sophistication, developed technologies that would echo through time, and cultivated a culture that balanced survival with spirituality. Mohenjo-Daro, Harappa, Tholavira, and countless smaller settlements were not mere habitations. They were expressions of human ambition, cooperation, and adaptation in a challenging environment. Yet the story of the Saraswati is also a cautionary tale. Environmental shifts, the drying of a lifeline, and social and economic pressures brought even the most advanced settlements to a gradual decline. Cities that once thrived fell silent. Trade routes that had connected communities vanished. Traditions persisted only in memory and myth. The civilization's disappearance reminds us that even the most sophisticated societies are vulnerable to the forces of nature and change. Today, the echoes of the Saraswati linger in riverbeds, artifacts, and Vedic hymns, inviting us to imagine life along its golden waters. Its legacy survives in culture, religion, urban planning, and the stories passed down through millennia. The Saraswati may have vanished, but its influence flows on, shaping the foundations of Indian civilization and inspiring generations to explore, question, and marvel at the past. As we gaze upon the deserts and plains where the river once ran, one cannot help but wonder, how many other secrets lie buried beneath the earth, waiting for patient hands to uncover them? The Saraswati civilization challenges us to remember that history is not only written in texts or stones, but in the lifeblood of rivers, the ingenuity of people, and the mysteries that endure long after the waters have receded. The river may be gone, but its story, lost yet eternal, continues to flow.